You might have heard of the Patriot Parents Association, a group that claims to stand for parental rights, freedom, education, and protecting kids from so-called ideological indoctrination. But what if I told you that this organization is actually a well-oiled misinformation machine? In today's video, we're going to break down how the Patriot Parents Association spreads propaganda, manipulates information, and influences public opinion. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these tactics and how to fight back. Hi, my name is Wellington, and I'm a historian who specializes in misinformation, deception, and propaganda. If you like this sort of content, then make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more deep dives into misinformation and media manipulation. So, what is the Patriot Parents Association and where did it come from? This group presents itself as a grassroots organization for fighting for parents' rights in education. However, investigations have linked it to politically motivated think tanks and wealthy donors with an agenda to shape public education and policy. Instead of promoting real parental involvement, they often push fear-based narratives around school curriculums, books, and teacher policies. Now, before we go any further, let me make one thing clear. Parents absolutely have the right to be involved in their children's education. But that's not what this group is really about. Let's take a look at their tactics. The Patriot Parents Association doesn't share concerns. It spreads outright misinformation. Let's break down the key tactics that they use. Cherry picking and out of context claims. They like to take isolated incidents, like one controversial book in a school library, and claim it represents widespread crisis. For example, let's take a single teacher's social media post, and they will frame it as proof that schools are brainwashing children. They like to use fear and emotion over facts. Now, if you've watched my last video, I talked about the radicalization pipeline. One of the things that I mentioned, how propaganda spreads and pushes people down the radicalization pipeline, is by using propaganda, which is meant to tug on people's emotions over logic, right? So Patriot Parents Association uses fear and emotion over facts. Their messaging relies heavily on fear, often using terms like indoctrination, grooming, and Marxism to describe public schools. And they frame education as a battleground, making parents feel like their kids are under attack. The third thing that they do is amplifying false experts and fake studies. They push questionable experts who lack real credentials. Another example, a so-called education expert may have no background in teaching, but is presented as an authority. And number 4, coordinated social media campaigns. They use bot accounts, memes, and viral misinformation to spread their message. Many of their posts are highly shareable but lack real evidence. And if you think this is just an accident, think again. These tactics are strategically designed to manipulate public opinion. So what's the result of all this misinformation? Unfortunately, it's doing real harm. Teachers and librarians face harassment over false claims. Books are banned based on misleading outrage. Public trust in education is undermined, leading to more division and politicization in schools. And the worst part, it distracts from real issues in education, like underfunding, teacher shortages, and outdated curricula. So what can you do to push back against this misinformation? Well, you can fact check before you share. Don't spread sensationalized stories without verifying sources. You can follow reputable experts and journalists. Look for credible educators, researchers, and investigative reporters. You can support education advocates who advocate for real improvements instead of falling for fake controversies. And you can engage in your local school board. Misinformation thrives when people don't pay attention, so get involved. The Patriot Parents Association is just one example how misinformation spreads. But if we stay informed, we can stop it in its tracks. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Have you seen misinformation like this in your community? If so, let's talk about it. And also remember, one last thing, because I haven't done my usual rant. If you go to their website and you look throughout their website, you'll notice two key figures who should instantly strike you as a reason to not buy into the hype of the Patriot Parents Association. And that is the former representative from Florida, Matt Gaetz, who, unless you've been living under a rock, you know, he was under investigation from the Ethics Committee and the FBI, and many of his close associates are facing criminal charges for trafficking of minors. And as the report has shown, he engaged in behaviors that should have him in prison. Same with Congresswoman Lauren Boebert. Now, whatever you think about the political ideology of Patriot Parents Association, if you agree with it or not, which hopefully after this video, you see that this organization specifically does not represent the values of the political party that they claim to support. And that is where I have to draw the line. These people do not support those values of family and morality, especially when they're backing Lauren Boebert, who was caught in a movie theater committing sexual acts. And then Matt Gaetz, who was under investigation for, again, and as the findings show, committing sexual acts with underage children. So you can't promote those two people on your platform and then sit there and say that you are for good Christian values, family values. That just does not represent you in the best light. So if you found this video interesting, if you liked this video, then like, subscribe, and share it, because that is why I'm here, to expose organizations and talk about how propaganda and misinformation are shaping our world. So again, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and wherever you are, I hope you are having a good day. Let's do better.